Sitting atop the Old Bailey, as we all know, stands Lady Justice. Scales in one hand and sword in the other, she originates from the personification of justice in ancient Rome. Since the 16th century, Lady Justice has often been depicted wearing a blindfold, representing impartiality. The idea that justice should be applied without regard to wealth, power or status. What is not commonly known is that Lady Justice of the Old Bailey is not blindfolded. There is no generally accepted reason for this, but I think personally that she simply wants to see the litigants who are appearing before her. The lack of a blindfold is an expression of curiosity, not bias. Indeed, I would like it if she was depicted with a wink. For me, the concept of seeing who one is judging is an essential part of judgecraft. The purists say that you should be able to try a case with your back to the parties and just rely on what they say rather than the manner in which they say it. I do not fundamentally disagree, but there would be something of an antiseptic air about such a process. The human contact of a trial is essential to the human drama that is taking place in front of you. A smile, a nod, a shake of the head, and sometimes a gale of laughter are all as important as what is said. Pre-coronavirus, all trials were like this. When a judge delivers his or her judgment, they often begin by describing the impression that witnesses have given by their demeanour. Although demeanour cannot be the sole basis for a decision, it is a fundamental part of that decision. Since coronavirus, my own professional life has changed in many ways, but in particular, every hearing is now conducted remotely by a variety of digital means. The key, of course, is that the parties now only appear as a voice on the end of a telephone or as a head in a little square on the digital canvas of my laptop. At the beginning, I found this incredibly difficult. I found it impossible to pivot to such a different way of doing things. My first remote hearing was a complete disaster. Thankfully, I am now much more adept at dealing with hearings conducted remotely. I have developed methods not only of dealing with the parties, but also of coping with my own uncertainty. Right now, we're experiencing remoteness from each other in a way unprecedented in the last century. However, in some ways, we're more connected than ever before. For example, Deborah and I recently took part in a Zoom class reunion with classmates from 40 years ago who are now based all over the world. We had not seen some of them for decades, and it was an amazing experience. This only happened because of the situation the world finds itself in. We were able to tell stories and share common experiences, and we realised that although we have not been together physically, some of us for a long, long time, we could reconnect and enjoy the depths of our common past. And so it has been with the wonderful Muswell Hill community. We are keeping in touch with each other on Zoom, WhatsApp and phone, and the community is reaching out to others who are less fortunate than themselves. Again, this is only happening because of the situation that we find ourselves in. Through this communication, many in the community have formed new relationships and new bonds, which, when we all come back together again and reconnect physically, will make us an even stronger, more vibrant and even more active community. And when that happens, I fancy that Lady Justice will not only keep her eyes open, but if you look carefully, one day you will see her smile. In the immortal words of John Ebden, if you have been, thank you for listening.